You did. You're sure about that? Okay. There's just a FedEx charge on my account, and it doesn't mean it's not legit. I'm just trying to figure it out before I call FedEx. I'm going to end up calling FedEx and saying, what's this charge for? Okay, that's what I needed to know. Okay, let me know if you need reimbursement on that.
Don't let chronic pain be your new normal. Get your life back.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're right. I think you were into me for $40 or something. Oh, no problem. Okay, Daniel, I'll just have to call FedEx later and figure it out. I don't know what that is.
Tell them to take the banner down. That's fucking retarded.
Oh, and take the banner down while we're live.
It's fucking retarded.
Okay, hi.
Pain care.
You want to say it's fucking retarded, you tell it.
I can't look, it literally hides half the picture.
Charlie
I think we should just kill it, huh? What is it, Mark?
Well, I want to be sure it wasn't something you and I did that we're just not thinking of. I mean, it's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. God, I don't.
You didn't pay to send the phones back.
Phones.
The cell phones.
Yeah, but that was USPS. No, I didn't pay anyhow. They were self-labeled. It didn't matter. I have no idea what it is. I haven't been into a FedEx store since I've been 12. A message that I want to get out. A message that I want to get out. Did you get all your other commercials ready for Monday? I'm doing them right now. I'll fucking hurry up. A message that I want to get out loud and clear because I have so many friends this affects is pain care, Colorado pain. I think I'm going to buy Hyundai stock, man. Why not? Well, I'll tell you why not, because it's not traded on our market. Well, it is. I have so many friends, but it's actually traded in Colorado, North Korea, or South Korea. A lot of people. Colorado pain care. A lot of people just assume you. Colorado pain care. A lot of people just assume you have to live with pain. Live with pain. Do you realize I thought that? To live with pain. Do you realize I thought that was just a way of life?
I just wonder if you sent something back
that was just
through Amazon and they fucking charged the shipping.
Myself away
I just can't imagine.
No. And I had to rip myself. They would charge my Amazon account. They don't charge FedEx.
And I just can't remember the last
And I'll tell you what, I'll never do it again.
FedEx.
In pills. I'll never do it again. And thank God.
It's just not my style.
Taking pills. Thank God we have a company like Colorado Pain Care Clinic, Colorado Pain Care Clinic,
and you sent a check out for it. Remember you went to the post office
Colorado
and did that. I thought that was
like Colorado Pain.
You had to send something
Colorado
out for
Pain Care Clinic, Colorado.
Remember that?
Say it again, baby.
You had to send something out
like
for me
Colorado
at the beginning of the year.
ColoroPainCare.com.
These doctors are dedicated to the P.O. box.
I wouldn't go to FedEx.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to FedEx.
I just don't want to dispute it until I find out for sure it's...
FedEx sucks. UPS is the only way to ship stuff. Yeah, right. UPS is the best. These doctors are dedicated to helping people get back to their lives.
Right.
People get back to their lives. You know what? You don't have to accept pain.
How come you tidy up the Facebook Live, but you don't tidy up at the house?
Yeah, right. First of all, I clean way more than get back to living. Who did the dishes last night? Come on. Seriously, who did the dishes? Who did the dishes last night? They have all kinds of procedures. Sure, they can manage medication, but their goal is to get back to living.
sure they can manage. Get back to living. Sure they can manage medication, but their goal is to get you off and to get you onto life. With physical, onto life. With physical. With life. Physical therapy, emotional therapy. Physical therapy, emotional therapy, even interventional procedures like epidural steroid injections, nerve blocks, radio frequency, nerve control, nerve and spinal cord stimulation, stimulation, the stimulators. And spinal cord stimulators. These are new. These are stimulators. New high-tech options, and they also have regenerative options like PRP and there's new high-tech options. ColoradoPayCare.com. Care.com. 303
MSRP. Really? Yeah, they're killing it. Are you getting one?
Yes.
Eventually. I get mine first.
Do you have two Genesises?
We will. I got one.
You already have one.
I got the G90 sedan. She's going to get the GV8, but I will not pay fucking sticker. I will not.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't buy them right now.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, so I don't think there's any major, landmines with GDRs, ADRs, which I used to trade to.
You're right with the currency, though. I never thought about
Yeah.
how, because our currency, honestly, man, we're spending money literally left and right. Our dollar's got to be getting a little worthless. So actually, in this case, it might be better for me on the currency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might be better for you on the currency.
Did you ever make any currency trades? Just
No, not really.
Nah.
But I traded some ADRs for Japanese stocks, and I was watching all that stuff. But now, the currency game is a very, very hard trade because governments play in that market.
They can, like China, they manipulate the fuck out of it.
Well, China's different because China just sets a rule and says you can't trade outside of this band. But in the actually free-floating markets, you could have a central bank jump in just to fuck with currency traders and just to. So it's a very tricky market. It's a huge players. It tends to trend in one direction a lot more than other markets do. It'll tend to do long trends, and that's a hard trade for an individual.
Do people
Also,
generally trade on it? Is that what their main deal is?
There are people whose main deal is trading currencies, but often they are an adjunct to some, like a company that gets default currency exposure because they're importing or exporting a lot, that kind of thing. It's a very difficult trade. The other thing to keep in mind, and I'm not expert on this, but I do believe that just trading straight up currency, not futures, but really trading the currency, can be very ugly from a tax perspective. If you're going to trade currency, trade the futures.
I
I bought some, I think they call it Class C stock in an oil company. I don't know if it was Exxon. It was a while back, but I actually got a fucking 1099 on it. Or not a 1099, a K1, I think. It's like I actually had ownership in the actual company. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's weird.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But it wasn't a normal stock. It was a class. I'm almost sure it was Exxon. Maybe Chevron. They have Class C, Class B, Class A stock.
Yeah, or is it a preferred stock?
I don't remember. I mean, I didn't even know I was getting into it, and I did okay on it. But when I sold it, I never thought of it. Then the end of the year came, and I got something from them, a K1 from them that I had to give to my accountant. And he's like, holy shit, I don't see these a lot.
No, I've never heard of that, a K1 from a stock purchase.
Are you good Monday?
I think so.
Okay. I don't care what time. He'll be coming down from the mountains.
Okay.
So, but I mean, he's just up in Central City. So
Okay.
if he leaves at 10, he's there at 11.
All right. Yeah, just let me know.
All right, man. And let's do that deal in Castle Rock one of these days.
For sure.
What's up, Shannon?
By the way, the fact that you say that Marjorie saying that Jewish space lasers is anti-Semitic, I think pro. I mean, she wasn't, don't eat space lasers. She's like, Jewish space lasers. I mean, they got it all. She did not mean it in a positive way. I mean, hello. Have you tried a potato latte? No, I was just talking to Shannon. What's going on? No, I can ignore that guy. Okay. I can be home in 10 minutes. I mean, it's not that you need me. Okay. Oh, okay.
It's Suzanne with the Martino Show. How you doing, man? Okay, thanks for letting me know. I just figured I'd shoot you the email since she emailed me last night. I hope that was okay. Apparently you have some sort of update with Deputy Dan, right? Okay, so I'm getting you in queue for that. Is that good? Thank you. Hold on a minute for me, man. Troubleshooter Show, what is your first name? Hi, Jerry, there you are. I was telling Mark about you this morning, going, my gosh, I hope he calls in so we can figure out how to help you. So, Jerry, hang tight, listen through the phone. When you hear your name, come on and tell Tom everything going on. Sure, no problem, Jerry. Troubleshooter Show, what is your first name? Did you say Angela? I'm having a hard time hearing you. Spell it. So it is Angela. Okay, perfect. Hi, Angela. In a sentence or less, what would you like to talk to Tom about on the show today? That is approved for SBA loan and not been funded. Not been funded yet. Okay. Very cool. What's your business name? All right. Perfect. That's cool.
They're investigating a shooting from this morning. No estimated time when the roadway will reopen. Alternate routes are advised. Outside of town, both directions of I-76 are closed near Brush there between exits 90 and 92 due to a crash involving a semi and a fire. Investigation continues. Again, no estimated time when I-76 will reopen at that location. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Going to be a chance of flurries later on today. Chilly, a high of only 33. Right now, still areas of fog and 11. Will impact traffic and weather. I'm Pete Wagner, 630 K-How.
Don't overpay for glasses. Get 2 pairs and a free exam for just $69.95. The exam alone is worth $50. That's not just a better deal. It's America's best. Book your exam online today.
In certain states, eye exams provided by independent optometrists or ophthalmologists. See store for details.
This is Brent Ivinson with Ideal Home Loans, and as we all spent time at home during 2020, we realized that maybe there's some things we need to do around the house. If you're looking to get that home improvement project started,
as you pointed out, one of those popular areas of contingency is personal injury. In personal injury, it's traditionally not served. So then how do they work it out? If it pays, attorneys take off the top 33% of the gross. Then the net is whatever's left. Expenses are paid, and then the litigant or the client gets the rest.
Most of them, though, most of them, and I clarified this because you asked me about that a week ago, how mine went. Most of them, 90+%, you're splitting the gross. So, in other words, if there's $50,000 in bills and there's $50,000 left, okay, the attorney's still getting his percentage of that $100,000.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's most of them.
Good. You're right. So what Mark is saying is, the gross amount, the attorney gets his carrots or her carrots. Then expenses are paid, and the client gets the rest.
Now, let me say this.
In some rare cases, though, Mark, people, you know, as
you
we
can
talk,
make a deal.
That's right. And you can say, listen, let's take expenses off the top, and then you take your third. And so really you can make a deal depending on how strong and good the case is.
Where a good attorney, though, really makes his money when he's on contingency like John Fuller did for me. We had like $35,000 in medical bills. He actually got those down to about $4,000 with the hospital. So he actually paid for a lot of his own just by negotiating with the hospital with us. So, I mean, literally, I would have been way worse off if I didn't have an attorney.
Bob had questions, guys, about when you have medical bills through your health insurance, how does that work in the settlement? He did have questions on that.
Okay, so give me a specific question.
All right, let's say I'm injured in an auto accident, and my health insurance pays $40,000 to get me better, pays the docs and the hospitals, yada, yada, yada. And I get a settlement for $200,000. Do I owe my insurance company repayment on that $40,000 that they paid to get me better?
Now, Mark will tell you through a personal experience what a good attorney can do with that. Mark?
They're going to negotiate that down. But to go straight to your question, yes, if you build your initial stuff through your health insurance company, they will go back and try to reclaim that. The difference, though, is if you have a good attorney, they're going to take that $40,000 that you used as an example and negotiate it down to $10,000, and then your health insurance company will, of course, only be able to subrogate for that amount.
Right, and then you get the rest. Do you see that, Bob?
I understand. So let's assume you get $200,000 settlement.
Right.
And you've got 40 that, in theory, you would owe your insurance company. And you split it 60-40 with your attorney.
Right.
And you spend $30,000 in investigation.
Okay, I'm going to do it for you. Now I'm going to do it for you. Ready? Just on what you said. Are you done, or did you have more to say on that one? Because I can.
That's the question.
Okay.
How much do you end up?
All right. Let's do it. You got 200 times. All right. Times 33%. Right.
Let's assume it's 40%, just for.
Whatever. Okay.
That's high.
Well, that's high. I mean, that's only if they go to court. I would say 33% is more accurate. Then, so what you're looking at is 66. So now take this: 200 minus 66 equals 134,000.
Then minus 40.
Now, no, because listen, what you said, Mark, is a good attorney will negotiate that down. So let's say they can at least get half of that. So let's say 20 for medical bills instead of the 40, because that's what a good attorney will do. That'll leave you 114. Then you said 30 in investigations, which is unheard of. So, but let's just say it for the hell of it, because that's what you asked. Now you'll end up with 84,000.
Okay. And that's the question, and that seems like it's very difficult for your, and that's why the question's coming is, your listeners deserve to understand,
of course,
what a fee-based
well, of course, but
means.
It's the best way you can do it, in my opinion. Here's the deal: because they fight for the biggest settlements. You don't pay for nickel and diming. You don't. Trust me, when you don't have a contingency, you are billed. Oh my God! Have you ever been in a lawsuit?
Well, I'm going back on experience, and
I've been involved in 6 active real lawsuits, and I've been threatened, and before it became a lawsuit or gotten them dismissed, probably 13 or 14, and not one lawsuit where you're paying an attorney, not one did I pay less than $150,000, not one. In fact, never. Far from it.
What was your point, though? Why did you even bring up this scenario? Are you saying attorneys charge too much? What are you saying?
No, I think you need to look at how the expenses are split out.
Well, the expenses aren't. What the attorney doesn't. I know what you're saying, though. You're saying, hey, wait a minute. This attorney can hire his buddies to do investigation and all that, and because it doesn't come off the top. No, the attorney takes their fees off the top. You, as the client, you pay the expenses, then you get your share. But a good attorney negotiates those medical bills down to almost nothing. And another thing he does, a good attorney. He or she, what they do is they keep expenses down. What were you going to say, Mark?
There's times where if you don't have an attorney, and I want listeners to understand this guy brings up subrogation from your health insurance in the hospital. There have been times you will settle with that other insurance company, and you literally owe your health insurance more. You lose money, so you better have an attorney.
Yeah. Okay, 303-713-TALK. We have some other things going on. For example, we sent out a public adjuster to look at some stuff. We also have a question on cars, of course, and then SBA loans, all after this.
Something happened. Was that PC like rebooted or no? This one is like they reloaded Windows, man.
These are signs of widespread pipe failure due to old, corroded, and shoddy pipes. Rerouting a pipe or other Band-Aid fixes are not the answer. Only a whole house repipe with brand new high-quality PAX or copper will permanently solve the problem. Repipe Specialist. No more leaks and great...
I understand you are having a roofer and won't send an invoice telling him it's paid in full, and the roofer did come back and said he owed around $900.
So say goodbye to leaks once and for all. Enjoy a pipe-free home and eliminate the risk of potential...
I have not. I assume Dan sent it to my email, but I will check for you.
What's that?
And I'll get that printed out, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Those old ladies died.
What old lady?
Holy cow. Okay.
They were old lady.
All righty. Let me check that out. Hang on, mister.
0086.
MileHighEstatePlanning.com. That's a very important website. Blake Harris is the principal in that law firm. And what they do is help you get an estate plan together. They're helping me. They help Mark's dad. What they do is talk to you, come up with a plan. When you talk to them, it doesn't cost you anything. They only charge flat rate for what they do for you. 833-ASK-BLAKE is the number. Protect your legacy. A good estate plan is more about protecting you when you're alive and your heirs and your assets, so you do have something to pass on. As a matter of fact, they can protect you from long-term health care costs, where you don't squander everything you have. 833-ASK-BLAKE. A simple will, a trust, power of attorney, probate, maybe an immediate need. 833-ASK-BLAKE. The message is this: anything to do with estate and elder law, 833-ASK-BLAKE.
Have you thought about buying a new home? Maybe you want something bigger because you're working at home, or maybe you're just ready for a new neighborhood. Well, listen to this. Mortgage rates continue to be at historic lows, helping to keep home ownership affordable. It's especially true when you work with Colorado's own American Financing. Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky, and I love American Financing. They've just been around for 20 years, not just because they're from Colorado, but because
Gmail's just like really being secure today. It made me recheck in on my laptop as well, which is fucking crazy, man.
To down payment assistance, their mortgage.
Turn that down a little, Fred, so you remember.
I'll explain that. I'll explain whatever your mental picture is. I don't know if there's something different, but whatever it is, I'll tell you the difference between that up and down. This was like intellectual and perfect. I mean, there was like, yeah.
Well, here's the other thing. We weren't stepping on toes.
Yeah, but there's something else. It was more of a, you know, blah, 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 blah. And because...
Hey, hold on a second. Why did it, what were you doing when it locked up? Everything was freaking perfect. Well, I looked up on the screen and it looked like you were trying to change the resolution or something.
And especially stressful are the IRS matters, many of them coming to a head after...
God, that's so weird. But it was, when we first came in here, it was perfect, no problem. All right, so hopefully, here's what I think happened, and I hate to take fault, but Tom was moving around the wrong mouse and clicking on shit. So, I think that's what happened. But anyhow, so tomorrow we'll see, but let's keep up what we're doing. And Facebook's no issue? All right, later.
844-LARSON-TAX. 844-LARSON. or LarsonTaxRelief.com. Attention.
I got a meeting with Corey on the phone later on.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Well, we just need to get this done. I want to start advertising the fuck out of our...
Okay, well, I got the stuff.
Well, it's so good, man, because think about it. No long-term contracts, free equipment. It's crazy.
Are we going to make real money or is our percentage?
No, it's growing. Right now, well, I don't want to talk about it now, but it's not bad. I mean, it's not... If we triple what we got, we're looking at real money. And we haven't advertised shit, man. It's almost like... I think the only problem with it is people think it's too good to be true because they've been screwed over by credit card companies so many times.
Your home's title and forges your name on a new deed stating you sold your home.
I never had one good experience.
Are we using the one with okay? I don't want to get into that.
Yeah. I never had one good experience with the processor until I basically found a good one who I kept forever at the retail level shit.
From the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy skies. The high today, a chilly 32 degrees. Heading to the mountains.
What is it?
After snow, could be several inches. I'm Fox 31. With weather meteorologist.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. With Allstate, you can really save.
I don't know what this is.
New ways to save, more ways to save. Find out just how much you can save today. Allstate. You've never been in better hands. Visit allstate.com or call an agent to get a quote.
Denver's Talk Station.
I've never said this before, but I care for you.
You don't have to. That's a media revelation.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. Don't forget about realcbdthatworks.com. It is so amazing, this stuff. It doesn't make you high. It makes you feel good, though. And there's no getting high. I'm serious, even with the THC one. realcbdthatworks.com. Panacea Life Sciences. You get 30% off. Put Tom in the promo code. Do me a favor. You gotta try it.
And then you'll call me and let me know. Please call me and let me know. For pain, anxiety, anti-inflammatory properties, realcbdthatworks.com. Put Tom in the promo code, 30% off. Okay, so listen, Matt, what is happening? Do we know, what is this follow-up, Suzanne? Can you help us out here with Matt? And Matt is with Paragon Services. Matt, by the way, is a public adjuster. Now, a public adjuster is an adjuster that works for the public, for you. So Mark and I always talk about public adjusters. We love public adjusters. And basically, we say if you have an insurance claim or you've just had an insurance claim and you didn't have the help of an adjuster, have them look it over. They'll let you know they think they can do some good, because what they do is collect from the insurance company for you. They put in your claim, they manage your claim, they don't put in, you put in the claim, but they help you drum up the claim legitimately to what you should get. And what happens as a result is they take a small commission, and it's always worth it, in my opinion. Suzanne, what were you going to say?
Well, Deputy Dan's on line 6, and I think he can explain.
All right, Dan, why did we call in the big guns here? Matt, what happened?
Okay, so this wasn't your normal situation. This farmer out in Arapahoe County, out in the country, had major hail. I mean, this was big hail. This is hail that actually went through the not only the roofing, it went through the whole roofing, everything. And so he didn't go through a public adjuster. He got a roofer out there, and the roofer just shingled over the hole. He didn't even
in the decking. He shingled over the holes in the decking.
Yes, and this was several buildings that Mark, this is the name of the client, had on there. And the roofer says, "No, I'm not going to do it unless insurance pays for it. I'm not going to redo it." And so
now wait a minute. Now, here's what I want to ask. I hope, Dan, this roofer was not on our referral list, was he?
Oh no, absolutely not.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
No. So we're going to send a roofer out there just to see it, because a county inspector came out there and passed it.
What?
He passed it. So this guy was he was totally befuddled. He didn't know what to do. He was upset. And this was like a $75,000 claim. And so I said, we don't need a roofer out there. I called up Matt, says, "Matt, what can you do with this guy?" And Matt, take it from there. I mean, this
now is Brian the guy here on line 4? Is that no? That's a different issue. Oh, okay. Keep going then. What happened, Matt, when you went to look at this?
Yeah, so I wore kind of a few different hats on this one. Of course, we got the roofer basically throwing shingles over holes in the decking and trying to get it passed through Arapahoe County inspectors, and they passed it. So it kind of feels like they were in bed together.
Wow. And
then, we've got a major claim, 2 claims actually, wind and hail. And so this poor guy, he works 60, 70 hours a week. He doesn't have time to mess with it. He's got a roofer that's trying to screw him and overcharge him.
Exactly.
For crappy work.
Yeah.
And then he's got the Arapahoe County bozo trying to pass it through.
Yeah.
So, I stepped in. First thing I did was go out there. He's got a house, several barns, a guest house. I just did an inspection on all of it. USAA treated him pretty good, but I got him an extra $30K on top of the 75.
Really good.
And then, I called the roofer and I said, you guys need to meet me out here. This is not okay. We went up in the attic. I said, look at these holes. This hail went through the decking. And there were several holes in the decking. On top of the roof, if you walk around on the shingles, you could see exposed nail heads, which is a no-no. I mean, how in the world did this pass inspection? So anyway, I kind of got the roofer back out there, got them to rip off what they needed to, redeck what they needed to, put everything back, obviously at no extra charge. Called Arapahoe County, called the actual inspector and said, what are you up to here? As soon as I, told him the address, he hung
bottom line,
up on me.
So the latest is the roofer's not going to do anything?
No, he did it. He fixed the decking, fixed everything.
Yeah. Well, who hung up on you?
The roofer came out, the Arapahoe County.
Oh. So listen, it's done, though. That's the good news. My goodness.
But it's done with 30,000 extra.
Yeah, and he got him $30,000 in his pocket.
What made you...
different guy out here this time.
But here's what I want to know, Matt.
That guy out there after the repairs were done and everything looked good.
How did you get this roofer to change his tune? Okay, that was Matt. I think he was having trouble. That was Matt. So how, Deputy Dan, do you know, how did Matt at Paragon Services, Public Adjusting, how did he get this roofer to change his tune?
So he went to him and he said, hey, this is in your contract. You have in your contract that the decking is supposed to be replaced, and you didn't do it. So Matt really knew how to hold him to gunpoint, not literally,
right,
but hold him to gunpoint, and basically says, this isn't going to work. You got to do it.
Yep.
But like I say, Matt wore several hats out here, and that's what Matt does. He just doesn't do his normal working with the insurance company. Here he went out there and actually went after the roofer who was basically going to blow this guy off.
Thank you so much. 303-713-TALK. Jerry, what is happening? By the way, Deputy Dan, we do appreciate you and your dog. Dan does the show from home, and his dog helps. Little border collie's very smart. Jerry, what's going on?
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
I got a problem with my 2001 Kia Optima. I think that says enough right there.
No, it doesn't. They're good. No. They're good cars. They're good. That's a good company.
That's 20 years old, though.
Yeah, of course. What's going on?
All right. Well, I got into a car accident. The motor mounts and the transmission mounts were all broken at the time. I did not know this.
Wait. Oh, you mean hold on. Before the accident, Jerry, hold on. Okay. This is the duplex, folks. This is what's happening. He can't hear me. Okay, I'm going to take... Jerry, I need to know something. Then you go on. Were they broken before the accident?
The motor mounts were. All the motor mounts and trans mounts were broken.
Now, how do you know that they were broken before?
Because Matthew from Budget A1 Transmission, who I trust emphatically, and you like as well.
Yes. Okay, so keep going now.
He looked at it and said that the transmission case broke as a result of the motor mounts being previously or earlier broken somehow, because I guess you can tell if it's a fresh brake or an old brake.
So you were in an accident, and whose fault was it?
My fault.
Okay, keep going. Go ahead now. Keep going with your story.
So the motor and tranny jumped up because of the broken mounts, and it cracked the case. So I had to get a replacement transmission, and because the car is so old, most of the cars get crushed. But I found a transmission out of state which had a rebuilt transmission, only 15,000 miles. So I had it installed by a mechanic at a dealership doing it on the side. He did it for only $400.
How much was the transmission?
It was only $300 with maybe $350.
And you think that was rebuilt? Listen to what you just said. You bought a $300 transmission that was rebuilt? Because I can already see where this story's going. But go ahead and continue.
Yeah, I mean, when I took it to the dealership where they changed the transmission.
I got it. So let's go past that now. So you had it done by a guy on the side. What's going on now, man?
Well, it's blowing fuses, and so I had somebody else, like Jerry rig it. I can get away with saying that because my name's Jerry. But he put a jumper wire from under the car somehow, and I jumped the positive cable, and the car would start, and I could drive it. So Matthew,
where are we going with this? What help do you need, Jerry?
Mickey Mouse, but if it works, it works.
What do you need from us? What's going on?
Well, I need the car towed back to budget A1 transmission, ideally.
Yeah.
And then have Matthew look at it, because when I took it to Lakewood Auto Electric,
yeah,
he stated, Brian there stated that the problem about the blowing fuse is got to be somehow related to the transmission installation, because the shifter is not working properly.
Okay, Jerry, let me hold on one sec, though. Bryant at Lakewood Auto Electric, he would definitely show you where it's coming from. But did you just get an opinion, or did you literally drop the car there to be checked?
No, he just gave me his opinion from what I verbally told him.
Got it. Now, Jerry, let me say something.
Last Friday, the car
here's the problem.
Water would not start.
Here's the problem.
I had to get it towed off of Parker Road to my house.
Jerry, here's the problem. When you have a used car with a used tranny that you buy online, and you also you get a guy on the side working, the problem with all of this adding up is you're not going to have anyone to stand behind it. So I don't know if that's what you're getting at or not, because
No, I could care less.
Okay,
I'm not asking for anybody.
So what do you want? So why are you calling us? By the way, we want to help you. Why are you calling?
Well, I need help with getting the car towed to A1. Budget A1 transmission.
At a reasonable cost.
I'm flat broke. I'm like 3 months behind on my mortgage.
Jerry, tell me your situation. You're out of work?
Yeah, but I'm fighting with unemployment. They started giving me unemployment, but I'm getting the runaround on that as well, because now they want something called ID Me, and I've been trying to accommodate that for the last 3 weeks.
Mark, do we have a relationship with Cast Iron, don't we? Can they do some?
Yeah, but I'm a little lost. If he can't afford to get it towed over to Budget A1, are you under the impression, Jerry, that Budget A1's going to fix it for free?
Well, I'm asking for help. You know, that's why I'm calling.
Have you talked to Budget?
You guys have a very good relationship with Scott.
Okay, I don't think I have to be straight with you here, Jerry.
Yeah.
I don't think I can get you some free transmission work. That's very expensive, unless it's something simple. I don't know.
Yeah, it supposedly is a neutral safety switch, according to what Brian thinks.
Then I would go to Lakewood Auto Electric. I wouldn't go to Budget A1. Why wouldn't you go right to the guys that know electrical?
Because Brian said he doesn't want to touch it. He said it's all transmission related.
Yeah, because it's a 21-year-old car and you did it. Why don't you go to the guy that put it in? Why don't you go to the guy that put it in and ask him to help you out?
Because he got in trouble with the dealership that he worked at for doing it for me.
All right. God, I don't... Jerry, look, we got to think about this. Really. So what you're asking is a free tow and a free service. I mean, people...
I need a price break.
No, I want to help you, Jerry. Honest to God, if that's what you're asking for, I would love to say, okay, we'll do it. First of all, we judiciously hand out, if we have a charity account, is very small. We get, from the kindnesses of others and ourselves, we have a little fund we use for dire straits, and this frankly is not one of those like dire straits, but that doesn't mean you don't need help, and that doesn't mean we can't help you. Maybe someone listening can get your car over there. It doesn't drive at all, Jerry.
Right. It keeps blowing something called a ECU fuse.
Okay. Did you run it? Hold on. Let's run it by those guys at Budget A1 just for the hell of it. See what they have to say.
Here's the other fear. He gets it over there, and he needs a brand new transmission. He has no money. They're not going to put in a transmission for free, and now they have a car stuck in their lot.
Right now, he's thinking it's just a light. Hold on. Maybe Norris can do a diagnostic. We'll talk to him too.
This is Denver's talk station.
Can you record this one, All Pro? So I have to. They want one about frozen pipes specifically. So I'm going to do that now.
Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, outside of town, eastbound I-76 remains closed there between exits 90 and 92 outside of Brush as crews are investigating that semi-crash and fire. No estimated time of reopening. Westbound is open. Back in town, both directions of Havana remain closed between 11th Avenue and Del Mar Parkway as crews are investigating that shooting from this morning. I got a crash moved to the right shoulder, southbound I-25 at 84th, and a crash off highway at Gun Club and Smoky Hill to watch out for as well. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, a chance of flurries later today with a cold high of 33. Right now, areas of fog at 14. More impact traffic and weather. I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
With Allstate, you can really save. New ways to save, more ways to save. Find out just how much you can save today. Allstate, you've never been in better hands. Visit allstate.com or call an agent to get a quote.
Record cold temperatures heading our way, and you never know when they're going to come up in Colorado, and that means frozen pipes for many of you. Don't make a mistake by getting victimized twice. You have frozen pipes, it can make a mess. Don't be victimized again by calling the wrong restoration company. Call the good guys in restoration for frozen pipe breaks or any other disaster. AllProColorado.com. That's All Pro Restoration. All Pro Restoration are the ones I trust. Started by Jessica and Jonathan Rinfret. It's a family-owned and operated business. They can be at your door in 90 minutes or less, 24/7. AllProColorado.com. Make sure you call for a pipe break or fire, flood, or any kind of disaster, even disease cleanup and sanitation. 720-729-0002. Okay, so send that to me. Thank you. I almost did it.
Tom, in general, you guys would not touch this because because an ECU or that sort of fuse doesn't blow. But you're saying it makes no sense.
It's customer management system, CMS. Hey, what's happening?
CuriosityStream has thousands of documentary films and shows available on demand on any device. We're the Netflix for nerds, the Hulu for history buffs, the Disney Plus for the scientist in us. There sure are a lot of streaming services, aren't there? CuriosityStream is the one you definitely need if you're the type to nature dock and chill, if you're an armchair astronaut, if you prefer physics to psychics, or perhaps you know a precocious paleontologist. Go to CuriosityStream.com to learn more and sign up today.
If you've ever watched a movie about hockey, you probably had a chuckle at the guy missing a couple of front teeth. But if you've ever lost a tooth or two or three in sports or an accident or just by bad dental hygiene, it's the furthest thing from funny. And Aspenwood Dental and the Colorado Dental Implant Center is here to help. Missing teeth means you can't eat everything you want, so people think you're never happy. You're hesitant to go on a date or just out with friends. So if that describes you or someone you care about, please get in touch with Aspenwood Dental today and set up your absolutely free consultation with one of their tremendously experienced team to talk about how an implant can make your life so much more enjoyable in so many ways, from eating to friendship to love life. Again, the consultation is absolutely great, and Aspenwood Dental's team is also confident in dental implants experience and quality of work. So give them a call, 303-751-3321. That's 303-751-3321, or online at AspenwoodDental.com. That's AspenwoodDental.com.
Do you have a financial advisor, or maybe thinking of getting one? Make sure your advisor is a fiduciary. That's someone who's legally required to serve your best interests. Stockbrokers and mutual fund sales.
Suze, that person You sent it to me.
Luckily
I don't
for
know where
you,
it is.
all
Asked
the
about
financial planners
NAD.
at Edelman Financial
I wanted to
Engines
get him
are
on the air and
fiduciary.
have an excuse to talk
And you
about
can get
it.
your
but I
own
gotta
personal
find it.
fiduciary financial advisor.
It would be a chance to call on the spot Ivy Medics.
And if you call now, you'll get a free retirement
Okay, I'm on.
review and a
I
personal
have my
financial
headset.
plan to help you reach your goals. An $800 value. Okay. And when you meet with us, we'll give you answers to the key questions you need to ask any financial advisor to help you properly evaluate them. Like, what are the total costs you'll pay? And what investment changes did they make due to COVID? So call us at 888-PLAN-RIC by 10 p.m. tonight. We'll make sure you're getting the right financial advisor. Call now, 888-PLAN-RIC by 10 p.m. tonight, or visit rickedelman.com.
If you've ever sold a home, you know it's a hassle.
Why do? You know, my
not to mention the supply show.
Bullshit.
What if I told you there was a stress-free way to buy and sell a home? Well, go to Orchard.com. Their Move First service helps you buy. Then list your old home once you're all moved out. That means you'll never have to deal with showings, open houses, double moves, or double mortgages. And to make sure you get the best possible price, Orchard can also handle making repairs or updates, so your home is list ready. Joe, a recent Orchard client, said, "With Orchard, we got our new home for $10,000 less and got asking price on our old one. Highly recommend." Kevin, another client, said, "We didn't have to carry 2 mortgages, didn't have to rush to move, and most importantly, we beat out 7 other offers for our new home." Go to Orchard.com now, enter your address, and get started with a free valuation. It's that easy. That's Orchard.com. Again, Orchard.com.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHAL.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. One Clear Choice Garage Doors for you. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. And they'll be there 24/7 for emergencies or just the best maintenance garage doors and openers. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. All right, Sue's talked to Budget A1. Suze, they can't come on?
Well, he said he would, but basically he said they would not touch that kind of job. It's very expensive to diagnose, which they would try, but those Kia Optimas are, he says, I would send that to Brian at Lakewood Electric.
Yeah, and then he wants to slough it off. I know what's going on. I do know what's going on. The car has cooties. What that means is it's most likely high mileage, it's 20 years old, and it's got a used unknown transmission that's said to be rebuilt, and a guy doing work on the side. It's set up for disaster. I feel sorry for Jerry because he's trying to cut corners and save money, but they don't even want to touch it. Did we talk to SOS Inspections? I want to get an opinion on that, and we'll come back to him. All right, now, Patricia, welcome. You want to follow up on this paint job. Can you refresh our memories here, Patricia?
Hi, Tom. Good morning.
Yes, Patricia.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Back in November, S&R came over to my house and they painted my house. Now, the conditions at the time were fine. The temperatures were in the 50s and 70s. Well, when the job was done, and I didn't know this, when you're painting a house, it takes several days to find out exactly when it starts drying what it's going to look like. Well, it looked pretty bad. You could see lap marks and spots where there's more paint, less paint. It was a very uneven job. So you had one of your A-listed guys, Steve the painter man, come to my house and take a look at it.
So he already did look at it?
Oh, yes. In his estimation, he said the whole house needed to be repainted. I had paint leaching or whatever the heck they call that on the front of the house.
All right, so he already made that determination. Did you have any kind of a warranty?
Well, on their original contract, it says they stand behind their work for 5 years.
Yeah, and what happened?
Well, they brought in Ryan Harms, who represents Sherwin-Williams, because that's the paint they use, and he said the same thing. The house needs to be repainted. Well, she kept talking about, the owner of the company, Sarah, kept saying, we're going to do touch-ups, we're going to do touch-ups. I said, no. Touch-ups isn't going to do it. We need to repaint the entire house, and that was Steve's estimation, too. He said the whole house needs to be repainted. Well, they wanted me to sign another contract, and I refused.
But they're willing to repaint the house. They just want you to sign a different contract.
And what will the contracts? Go ahead.
They're not willing to repaint the house. They're willing to do touch-ups. And in her, she said the east and west side. It's not the east and west side. It's the north and south, mainly, because those are the longest parts of the house. I mean, this whole thing is convoluted.
Now, remember this. Remember this. Steve the painter, I love him. Star quality painting. But I want to mention this. I know he said it has to be redone and done over, and I'll tell you why he said it. Because he's a perfectionist, and because if he was going to take it over, that's what he would do. That doesn't mean, and I hope you understand, I'm not disagreeing with him, but I'm saying I hope you understand that unless the entire base coat is screwed and not adhered at all, it is possible to touch up and fix things. It may not be what Steve the painter would have done, but I'll bet you didn't pay Steve the painter or a Star Quality painting prices. What did you pay to have your house done?
Well, originally the quote was like $4,000.
And did Steve say anything about the price on what it would cost to do this?
I mean, like to pay, I think I had a couple of estimates on it, and the estimates were closer to $4,700.
Okay. So, Mark, what were you going to say?
Well, you're forgetting, Tom, that she had a Sherwin-Williams rep out there that looked at the job. You know, that's the paint.
What did he say?
He said it's got to be 100% repainted.
Oh, so in addition to Star Quality, Sherwin-Williams said that. Holy crap.
Right.
All right. Listen, we're in the small claims court realm, which is good, but it's a pain in the ass. We just need to see what they're going to do. They flat out refused to do it. What repairs did they say they would do?
They're not talking about any repairs. They're talking about touch-ups.
That's what I mean. I call it repair. What are they going to do?
And she just said touch-ups on east and west side of the house.
Okay. So it's apparent they don't realize the extent of their stuff. What's the name of this company?
S&R Eagle Services.
Eagle Service. S&R I got, but the Eagle. Okay, Eagle Services. And how are their ratings? Do you know?
Well, you know, I went online and they were rated at least 4 out of 5, and I think most of it was for the roofing because they do a lot of roofing.
Did we ever try to get him on, Suzanne, to talk about this? I think
this came in long before me. Did last year, Tommy, when I wasn't here, so I don't know if they came on.
Let's try to get them. Yeah, let's try. It's S&R Eagle Services LLC Roofing and Exteriors, I believe. Is that the one you're talking about?
I think so.
Yeah, they have excellent reviews. They're 5.
Can you send us a new contract that they want you to sign?
Well, it doesn't matter because it's touch-up. She doesn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you say this a lot. I mean, if they do touch it up, then it looks good.
I know. See, that's what I do say. I say when you go to small claims court, I think what counts against you is that you didn't give them a chance to fix it. Now, listen, I understand that you feel they're never going to be able to do it right. But I want to make this clear again, okay? I don't know what they did wrong. I don't know why the Sherwin-Williams rep said it had to be redone. Patricia, what are they pointing out as the deficiencies? What are they actually saying is wrong?
Well, even my neighbor said the same thing. They said, "Oh my God, that's a terrible paint job."
But what part of it's terrible? Every single square inch?
The north and south side of the house mainly, where there are lap marks. You know, when they have their ladder and they're against the house, then they spray and then they move the ladder, and you can see where the ladders were, where that is.
Why don't you ask them for that contract and alter it for the north and west, whatever sides are bad, instead of what they have?
Well, they have totally closed my contract. They won't even talk to me.
All right, we're going to call them and see if they'll come on. I don't know what else to say. And then maybe we can get Star Quality to review this, and I'll ask them what's wrong.
Guys, device to play 630 KHOW on iHeartRadio. Then you can hear Ross Kaminsky in the morning, Dan Catless in the afternoon.
Getting 630 KHOW from iHeartRadio.
Denver's talk station, available on over 2,000 devices. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses. From the Best Friend Sports Traffic Center, let's go with the good news outside of town.
Hi, you looked at this job? All right, hang on. year when this problem originally came in, do you know if one of our do you know if one of our deputies reach out to this company? Yeah.
theartofgranite.com. That's the website, theartofgranite.com. What I want you to do is go on there and look them over, because you can have countertops in just 2 weeks after picking material. All materials wholesale to you. That's what he promises, Mitch Floria. I know him personally. I know the Art of Granite, and I know you will love it. What I also know you love is not only is he a direct stone importer, he can do quartz as well, and prices on the phone, 303-386-5919. That's 303-386-5919. Someone else I know personally. I know Kurt Rogers, the owner of Affordable Interest Mortgage, for years, and I know he has your best interests at heart. I know that at aimortgage.net, you will find on that website useful tools to help you decide about what loan you want. This is the home of the famous Asset Manager loan. It's that line of credit that is remarkable, that you can pay up and down at will. 720-895-0500. Conventional loans as well, 720-895-0500. aimortgage.net. You know, so many mortgage people, they have one thing in mind and try to push you to it. With Affordable Interest Mortgage, they find the best product for you. Look them up, aimortgage.net, 720-895-0500.
Valentine's Day is this Sunday. Are you still looking for a great Valentine's gift for a special someone? Consider gifting someone relaxation this year with MG Touch Pajama. Exclusively from Pajamagram.
In lieu, L-E-U, L-I-E-U.